Okay guys, so just like I was saying in the previous tutorial, we're trying to add a little bit more volume to the front of our sofa, and just kind of hop right back into there. So let's locate the vertices that are in the front of this particular couch and go to our front view. So the hot bar is spacebar. Click on Maya front view, and I'm just going to separate these faces of vertices a little more. Okay, and move that over like this. Okay, and there we go. Alright, so now I'm going to select these two faces, or sorry, vertices. I keep saying faces. Those two vertices. If I made a selection, then I'm actually going to select the vertices behind. So I'll just select these guys. I'm not even for sure if there are any vertices behind this couch. So since I don't have very many vertices, I'm just going to select those guys there. And let's select, I think that's good. I'll press spacebar, click on the word Maya, go to perspective, and let's simply move these guys forward, just like that. Very easy. And I'm not for sure if I really want this part of my couch to stretch, I'm happy with that. Let's add another. Actually, you know, I'm really not that happy with that result. So let's go to Object Mode, Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop. I'll double click on the edge loop, and it's at relative distance from the edge. So let me click on another edge loop right about here. Okay, and I'm going to create one more edge loop right there. Okay. Let's see here. I think that's good. Alright, so let's click on our object, go to Control Vertex or Vertex mode, and now select these two right down the center. If I press 4, then I can make sure I'm not selecting any of the vertices in the back. So there we go. Just speed up this process a little bit. Select these guys. There's 5. And so looking at this geometry, I probably should have added another edge loop right there. But you know what? I'm just going to stick with what we have. I'll move this out a little bit. If I press 3, then we can see that this curve. Press 1 on there. Let's go ahead and go to Object Mode. Let's insert another edge loop. Say one right about here. And then I'll put one right there. Let's go to Control Vertex. I'll highlight this one, or those two. Those two. Select these guys here. And highlight these two. So now we just need to move these guys up in the y-axis, like so. There we go. Perfect. So now when we press 3 on this geometry, we've got a really nice curved edge. Next thing we need to do is add the accents to this shape. So let's go to face mode. Select that triangle, this, and double click there. Click on this guy. I'm going to go to object mode, just Control 1, so that we can isolate it. Go back into face mode and we're going to press 4, hold shift to select these faces, I'll press 5, and we'll double click here, press 4, there, and again I'm just going to kind of repeat this process all the way around until I have all of my accent pieces. Okay, right there. If you're not sure which faces to select, then just press 5 on your geometry. Double click here. Press 4. Press 5. Double click. Press 4. So we'll kind of again speed this up so that I'm not boring any of you guys. 5. Probably doing this yourselves at home or at school. Let's click on this guy, spacebar. Since I'm using the QuickTime screen record, there isn't a pause button, so gotta watch me through this painstaking process. That's why I'm trying to do this extremely fast. And I know that when you guys are working, you'll take your time trying to do everything. Right? Double click here, and I'll press 5. There's one more I'm missing. This row right here. Click. Let's see. Double click there. Oops. Press undo. Press 4. That right there. Doesn't like it when I do that. And voila. I am almost finished with that piece. And there we go. I keep saying there we go, and then I'm always like missing one more section. I almost said there we go again. And I realized that there was one more section that I needed to click. Voila! Alright, so got all of that selected. Got a nasty ingon right there we'll take care of a little bit later. And now we're going to press Control E, move the axes out. There, I'll press 3. And whoop, whoop. Very, very, very happy with that. Alright, I'll press 1 on this object, go to object mode, and we're just going to clean up this geometry. If you ever wanted to take this in a mud box or Mari or ZBrush, whatever sculpting application you prefer, then I think it's really important to avoid ingons. Some people have a difference of opinions when it comes to triangles, but this geometry does have a few triangles, and they're at the places I beveled, so to me it's not that big of a deal. Again, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Okay, so that's this section here. All right. Just want to move this down a little bit. Go back in object mode. I'll press Control 1, and yeah, there we go. Now we just need to do the same exact thing to this section. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight both of those. I'll press Control 1 on my keyboard. I'm going to insert 2 edge loops here. I've kept this one just for a source of reference. Mesh tools, insert edge loop. I'll double click on my edge loop tool, and I'll add 2 right here, and I'll add 2 more there, and I think I'm going to add to right here. I'll press R, which is a scale tool, and I'll scale them right about there. Actually, you know, I'm going to keep it very simple. Go to edge, double click on the outermost edges of this shape. And click there, here. Make sure you don't forget to select all of the outermost edges of your geometry, otherwise your bevel and the accent aren't going to look identical to your other sofa. Alright, so I'm going to press 4 so I can make sure that everything is selected that I want to have selected. Alright, perfect. Press 5. And should I select that? Sure, why not? Let's press Control. I'm sorry, I keep saying Control. I'm using a Mac, so for PC it's going to be something else. Press Shift, right mouse click and hold, bevel, and I'm going to change the fraction. Now I forgot the number, I think it's 0.2. If you forgot the fraction angle, you can always click on your previous shape and look at the history. And in the history, we'll just look for our bevel. Now, that's it right there. And yeah, the offset was 0.2. So that's why it's really important maybe like not to delete the history right away, because you might need it. And I know that our fraction, our segments, was a value of 3. Okay. So it's the same width, because I'm going to extrude that shape there. Now, we need to make this object round. So what I'm going to do is add another edge loop right here, the same way I added one here. So let's do that. Mesh tools, enter edge loop. I'll add, let's Z undo, double click on our edge loop tool, relative distance from edge, and you know what, I'm going to go back to that, click on multiple edge loops, click here, I'll press R, which is the scale tool, and I'll scale it wide. So now I have an edge loop that is the same width on both sides of my geometry. Right, and then let's add another one here, another edge loop. Okay. So if I press Y, it means repeat the previous command, which is edge loop. And just trying to align it with that. Alright. And let's see here. Okay, it's perfect. I keep saying that word, but it's kind of math and it's geometry and it's symmetrical, so yeah, it's perfect. Alright, so let's like these. 2, 4, and I'm not going to make this shape like round on the sides, so I'm really not going to like focus too much on that. I'm just going to focus on the front of this. So if I hold spacebar, click on Maya, go to my left view, press 4. Here we go. 4 is a wireframe, so I'll move this out to the same with hold spacebar, perspective. Okay, and I'm going to press 5, click on these guys. Hold spacebar, click on right view, zoom in, I'll move this up like that. And now I'm going to double click on this edge, hold shift, double click that edge, I'll press R, and I think I want to scale it down just a little bit to match that edge. Spacebar, click on Maya, perspective. Okay, so last but not least, let me just press 3, see that it's rounding off the way I want it to. Press 3, it's the same kind of angle. Now we just need to extrude some edges or some faces. In this case, I'm going to press Control 1 and let's go back into this shape. Let's hold Shift, double click on that. Press Q, which is a shortcut for the selection tool, the select tool. I have to press 4. Press 5 to go back into shaded mode. Double click here, here. I'm not going to say I'm finished anytime soon because I know it happened last time. Got a little bit ahead of myself. Let's select this guy. Double click here. And at least while I'm still on the back side of this shape. Press 4. Shift. Double click there. And can I get it? Yep. There we go. Double click here. Oops. And that guy here. Almost there. Almost. And so it's complete. Almost. I wish I knew like good jokes. I'd say something and make you laugh, but I don't have any good jokes. Let's see. Okay, almost there. Again, I apologize for not having the proper screen recording software to pause the tutorial. So instead of watching maybe like a 15-minute tutorial, you're watching something twice that. But it's all good. And there we go. Look, did it again. Missed one more edge, and so it's finished. It's all good. We don't like mistakes. Let's select that. Double click here, and yeah. All right. Control E. There's that. Press 3. Press Control 1. So we are finished with adding the accents to our sofa and giving it a rounded shape. Next thing in the next tutorial, we will add the pillows. But I did notice about the legs. I feel like they're a little bit too thin. So I'll select all of them. Press R, scale them wider. And so these two, I'm moving to the left, and then I'll select that accent, that leg, move it away from the accent, select this leg, and I think it's just about right. And I think we should probably scale them down a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to select this leg, this object, this one, this one, this one. Press Control D, which is a duplicate, and then Control G to turn it into a group. And I'm going to go to Modify, Center Pivot. Alright, so I'll move this guy over here. This is the z-axis, that's the x-axis, so I'm going to change the scale x to -1. Flip it, move it over here, and we are that much closer to being complete with this project. Again, last thing that we need to do is to create our pillows, cushions. And as you can see with this particular side of the couch, we want to make it a little bit more unique. And again, we just change some of the vertices so that the cushions don't all feel the same exact spacing. Okay, same thing here. We can just take those cushions, move them over, take that section. Oh my god, I thought this almost crashed on me. Did a little weird delay. So, with that being said, I'm going to save it right now as couch 3b. And there we go. So I'll turn the wireframe, select it off. As I'm looking at the reference image, the middle cushion is I think a bit more rounded. So I can select, say, these, that center face, hold B, hold, press B and then hold B to increase that. And I'll bring this section up, bring that section up. And that's not so high right there. Hold B, let's bring it down just a little more. So kind of give it a little bit more curvature. All right. Again, we can change a lot of the edges here because again, it feels more curved in the image than what we have here. So those are just like the little details that you can begin to sculpt onto your geometry. Okay, so yeah, we'll continue with the pillows, which is probably going to be the easiest things that we've created so far in this tutorial. So see you guys in the next tutorial.